Final countdown. Hi, I'm Joe Ilfeld, CEO and founder of Insight to Leadership. Okay, enough with the music. And recently, I have been talking with a bunch of other coaches who are ending a program, and we were talking about how you close things out and how you have meetings that allow for good closure. And it struck me as I was talking to these coaches that a lot of people in organizations, maybe you, aren't used to thinking about how to close things well. We end one project, we're on to the next. We end a relationship with a vendor or with someone who we worked with. Maybe they move on to a new job, they leave to go somewhere else. We stop using that vendor's services. And it's just like, boom, there's just a break, and then you're on to the next thing. And I think one thing that is great is to actually practice honorable closure. And by that, I mean really taking a moment to stop someone, both appreciate what they've brought to the relationship, appreciate if there's anything you've learned or gained from them or working with them, and even if it was a fraught relationship and not something that you're that sorry to end, maybe just taking the time to acknowledge, like, hey, there were some rocky times in this relationship. And, this is what I learned from this relationship. And, or this is what I learned from working with you. And so thank them for that learning. And it might be, if it was a good relationship, how do we want to continue to be in contact with each other? Like, drop me a line when you have a new job, or let's touch base in 6 months and see how things are going for you. Might be something you even mark on your calendar, but really taking the time to end relationships in the same sort of conscious way that we tend to think of onboarding and beginning relationships, I think allows us both to have more closure in our world, but also allows these relationships to turn into something different and to morph into their next stage, whatever that might look like. Because maybe someone who worked with you at one point in your career might later be a company that is hiring your company and become their customer. So relationships can take many different forms and don't always stay the same. And keeping that door open by having those moments of closure, by acknowledging one type of relationship is done and that you're open to a new type of relationship as things march forward, just allows for it to be much easier to get back in contact with someone. So maybe stop and think, the end of the year is coming. Is there a relationship that you have ending that you want to just put 10 or 15 minutes on your calendar and make sure that you have a little bit of an ending conversation with that person, whether by phone, whether by Zoom, or whether you just take the time to draft a nice email? Put something in your calendar now. The end of the year will be here before we know it. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed this learning snack.